G'day guys, welcome back to Beers and Breakevens, heading into round 17. It's going to be an enormous week. And Timothy, coming off a tough week for you, not SuperCoach-wise, just life-wise. A lot to take in last week.
Yeah. Tough week for Nicole Barcelona, or whatever my alter ego is. Nicole Casanova. Tough week for Nicole Casanova. Yeah,
I kind of miss her. Is she still getting around the traps, or is she burnt bread?
I'm hoping she's burnt bread. How your Bitcoin stock's doing since she's fallen off the Twitter radar?
Yeah, the old Bitcoin wallet has taken a hit.
Yeah.
That was a fun few days. Now, I believe you got a story for us. We were talking pre-show about names. I don't know how we got onto it. But you got one for us.
Oh, well, I just thought it was one that the listeners would probably appreciate and you too. And I thought, I may as well say it for the show. Yeah. And I was not given a middle name at birth. My parents, beautiful people, simple people, Tim, Tom and Sam Williams, Timothy technically, but...
Don't give out your identities.
God, what have I done? I've learnt nothing. No middle names. Anyway, so... I
wish my parents would have done that.
Good little...
Another week of your middle name.
Good little Catholic school boy, so I did confirmation in year 5, whatever it might have been. And when you do that for the public school goers out there, you pick basically a saint, and whoever the saint is, you basically take on their middle name, and it's like your Catholic middle name.
I know where this is going. I've put it together.
Anyways, the year at the time was 2004. Who was going well that year?
Strapping young right centre for the Canterbury Bulldogs.
One SBW, Sonny Bill Williams. Anyway, I grew up as a dog fan. Plenty of people know that, probably not enough, but I was a youngster. And I thought, how good's this? Like, Sonny Bill Williams, Timothy Williams, like, it's written. I don't have a middle name. So I'm like, I'll find St. Bill, I'll choose him, and I'll be Timmy Bill Williams. And from there, the schoolyard is going to put 2 and 2 together and start calling me Sonny Bill Williams, and the rest is history.
TBW.
Anyway, there was no St. Bill. Shock. What's Bill short for?
William.
So I couldn't quite be Timothy William Williams because that's pushing it. So the plan was to be Timmy Bill Williams. I couldn't do it. So I thought, all right, who's my next greatest idol at the time? Rafael Nadal. Just won the French Open. I chose Saint Raphael.
Did you really?
So I'm Timothy Raphael Williams.
I like that.
That's mad. I have no idea who my saint was. I want to say a James maybe, but I have no idea.
See, everyone with all these square names and Saint John and Saint George and all that and Saint Raphael. And then as it turned out, Sonny Bill broke my heart a year later, jumped on a plane to French rugby. I cried and thought, thank God I'm not Timmy Bill Williams.
Wasn't that a wild morning?
Yeah.
I genuinely bawled my eyes. That was awful.
Fucked up. The scene of him like walking down the... Yeah, that was wild.
You think Paul Gallen doesn't like him? I'm still busted. I have not forgiven.
I still remember I saw Sonny Bill Williams at a servo in like Brighton when I was like 10 or 11. And it's the first time I've been like starstruck by a footy player. I reckon, just going, holy fuck, this dude is enormous.
Just had aura, hey?
Yeah, salt and vinegar chips, can of Coke. That's living, my friend. Man, speaking of living, how are you?
I'm living. I am living. The name chat's interesting. I was telling you that my name's Kathleen. I wasn't even registered as Kathleen in primary school. Like, the school did not know that was my name because my parents forgot. But my
I don't know
mum
if you've said that in
them.
content before. I think that'll come as a shock to many.
I feel like it's a joke.
What do you mean?
Oh, you mean that? I feel like I've brought up this Kathleen thing before, no?
No, I actually thought you hadn't. I thought on purpose you weren't. I could be wrong. Maybe I've
inspired her.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's a great name.
Thank you. Kathleen Rose, and my saint name was Antoinette.
Antoinette.
So I thought I would just make my name longer than it already was.
Yeah, nice. Very good.
Kathleen Rose Antoinette.
Her
like
dad.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Her dad.
How we going, SuperCoach, this week? How'd you go, Big Timer? Talk to me.
Not great. Got 1280 and like I thought I went all right, but
No, you didn't.
yeah, thanks. I dropped 700 spots, so I'm 2700th overall. 2705 to be precise. So Yeah, I wasn't going to make any trades, and then I had a few in the bank pretty well, and I saw a lot of good trade opportunities this week. So I ended up going early. I hate doing this, but I ended up going early on Olaquatu, who was obviously injured, to Viliami Kikau, who I wanted this week, to free up a trade for this week. And the way things have panned out with the hooking slot and with Fletcher Sharp and Jaden Campbell, I'm bloody glad I did.
Yeah, for sure. That's big for you. You don't usually make those plays.
Hey, I've taken the safety vest off a few times.
No, you have this year, and I'll give you credit for it. As I'm saying, once again, you don't usually make those plays. You are this year, so credit to you. It's unlike you to just defend a lead. Now, how are you travelling?
Well, as we
Friendo?
discussed off camera, I think I've mastered the art of stabilisation in SuperCoach. So I'm neither here nor there. I scored 1278, and I don't think that my rank changed at all.
The camouflage pants a choice this week just to stabilise? No movement.
For those
No
at
one
home.
even knows she's here.
There you go. Little bit of a.
Just floating shoes.
Yeah. Good to see.
You've been holding
Speaking
on to
of,
that
you-
one all day.
What's
You've
that?
been holding on to that joke all day.
I have been.
And
No one
you-
asked me, but I'll just go fuck myself.
I'll ask you, what about, you got some new kicks over the weekend, mate?
Yeah, I haven't got them out of the box yet, but you'll know when I do. Don't worry.
What's the occasion? Like what, because you haven't told us what type of shoes.
I will wear them with jeans.
Are you nervous, like that you won't be able to pull them off? Or
Nah. I went for a
What
pretty
genre
safe
of
play.
shoe are they?
I don't even know what that means.
Like, are they a running shoe? Are they a casual? Like,
Casual, I think.
Okay. Do you consider what you're wearing right now casual?
No, these are
okay.
like
Good.
runners. These are
All right. So you do know what a
walking
shoe genre
shoes.
is, though.
Yeah, but like as far like I know what joggers are, but outside of that, I'm all at sea.
Yeah.
So is he. We're both just.
Oh, don't put me in your category. I'm not good, but I'm better than you.
Oh, fuck off. Are you kidding? We are both in the same category.
I know
You
slightly
fucking
more
know
than
it.
you.
No bullshit you do.
I'd say a domestic about fashion hates to see you two coming.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we're both as bad as each other.
Mate,
Oh,
I
yeah.
grew up wearing globes and etnies. I know shoes.
Sure. I
you go?
scored 1,349. My rank's now 6,981, so I'm into the 6,000s. The distance between me and Tim is 240 points. So it was about 500 a few weeks ago. I've wrangled in a little bit.
Yeah, the gap got relatively large, and the listenership started dropping. I said, I've got to start throwing this and make it a bit tighter. So here we are.
Well, you've nailed it. Let me tell you that much for free. So, yeah, we're starting to get a little bit closer, looking for a big finish at the end.
You could literally have me in a week's time. We're not getting closer. Like, it's close.
It's close. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'd rather be you, but it's close. Would you rather be you or me?
I'm in front with more trades. So of course, I'd prefer
Okay,
to be
you.
me.
Yeah, so you're the favourite. You should get it done from here.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, I didn't say you said that. I'm just pointing out the fucking blatantly obvious situation. You're in front. You have more trades. You're in a very good spot. You shouldn't lose this trophy.
Don't give me that shit.
Now, Lontel on board for season 2025, doing fantastic things. They're dominating Barangaroo. They're all over the city. They're killing it at the moment, Timbo.
The Kings of Barangaroo. Kings of the Roo, they're calling it.
Oh, nicely done.
Please. Go tell you a little funny. Oh, actually, we'll do the ad read first. Yeah, free internet for a week when you go to the link down below. Yeah, try it out for a week or so. See how you go. We've got it in Bloke Studios now. They're flying down there. We don't get to see any of Maddie. I'm a little bit
I'm
disappointed.
sad. Need to go pull the plug or
Yeah.
something.
See you
Yeah.
later. Yeah. So Lontel, internet is just lightning, guys. It's made a huge difference to everything we do in the studio here, down at Bloke as well, down at your place as well, flying.
So it going into European summer, all the jet setters taken off for a summer holiday over in Europe, and if they had Lontel, they'd just go switch it off, and they wouldn't pay for a cent while they're over there. So if you're traveling, if you're going anywhere, you can turn it off.
Yeah, for sure. It's an absolute cracker. And also, if you are like an Airbnb owner, perfect.
Makes
Get it in
sense.
there. You switch it on when someone's there. They got lightning fast internet. Switch it off when no one's there. It's a real smart play. Now, I was about to tell a yarn, but I can't remember what it was about. Does anyone remember what the buzz line?
Barangaroo, Roo, King of the Roo.
Oh, rude. That's what I was going to do. So I was sitting with Beck the other day. I had a very, and you'll obviously see this on About Even tomorrow to be out about the same time, but I had a very good week on About Even. I've had a very shit few weeks on it. And I was saying to Beck, I was like, I need a pun on Roo that I can use. And I was like, oh, maybe like I call it like play on the word resurrection. And Beck goes, that just says ruse-erection. I was like, yeah, right. No, that's probably not a good play. Look for something else.
Oh, my God.
We're still on the hunt. Because sure as fuck won't be using that. So, yeah, good times.
The boys would have
I
loved
feel
it,
like
to
the
be fair.
boys would love that.
Yeah, well.
You know what? I'd be tempted
I'm
to
glad
run
I
it.
said it out loud before I ended the show with it, though, because, good
Well,
times.
we know that Tommy Burmo is not tuning into this each week despite what he should be doing. I reckon you run it. That is that's very good.
Yeah, give it a crack. We'll see how we go. All right, should we get into TLT?
Yeah.
All right, Thursday, 7:50 p.m. We've got the Panthers and the Bulldogs going head-to-head at Combank Stadium for the Panthers. The Origin boys, they are back in. Papali'i on the edge for Scotty Sorensen. Alamotti out of the side. Must have pissed in Ivan's coffee, Alamotti. From grand final hero to... I can't believe how this has played out for him, Timber.
Yeah, interesting. Well, he didn't count on Tom Jenkins being the best winger in World Rugby League. But even McLean, yeah.
Wild. For the Doggies, no shocks in this 17. Galvin back on the bench, but nothing else to touch on there. Anything in that game, mate?
No.
Friday, 6 p.m, Manly v the West Tigers. This one's out at 4 Pines. For the Seagulls, Lehigh at 1, Turbo at right centre. Ruben Garrick moves back to the wing. Jazz at 9, Lodge in the front row. Waddell replaces Olakawatu on the right edge. Simpkin in the 14. Saab and Croker dropped here. Timmy, obviously a big call. Trebojevic to centre. And obviously, Turbo's not playing his best position, but I think there's a fair argument that Lehigh and Garrick are, in my opinion. I kind of like it for Manly.
In the short term, sure. Yeah, definitely. So do I. Like, I think the way Tommy was looking at fullback, he was still serviceable there because he's Tom Trebojevic. Like, when he's fit, he's probably the best fullback in the game, but he just looked busted and not quite there. And when you've got this absolute weapon in Lehigh who is fit, firing and ready to rock, I think it makes sense. You put Tommy out to centre. I think defensively he'll shore that up. Even his ball playing with his tip-ons will be good. So I like it, and I think it'll be short term, and I think if Tommy gets back to anywhere near full fitness, I mean, it's Tom Trebojevic, 80% of it, they swap around and he goes back to fullback. But for the time being, Manly need to win games, and I think this is their best backline.
Yep, completely agree.
I am surprised Saab got dropped ahead of Tommy Talau.
Yeah, we had a conversation about this afternoon. I tend to agree. I think that Saab's just got that upside that if you just give him a half chance, it can't.
And especially, that's the way Manly play their footy. They play expansive, they use the ball, they spread early because they have Saab there and just go bang, unless they've decided they want to change things up a bit.
I think Tommy Talau's got the higher floor, but as far as ceiling and, as you said, the way they play, I like the Saab play. But anyway, for the West Tigers, Tommy Birmingham's going to wish he was listening. Heath Mason back at fullback, enormous. Latu in at halfback, Luai at 6. Bird on the edge, Seafarth on the bench. From a Supercoach point of view, Seafarth still reasonably highly owned. I imagine there'd be a few people that would still have him.
God, I wouldn't reckon so.
I reckon there'd be more than you think that would have him. Yeah, it hasn't gone too badly.
I don't, but I'll have a look.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Top 10% overall.
I'm nervous about this for what it's
Couldn't
worth.
be many, surely.
I reckon it'd be more than 0.
Well, that is a few, technically.
He's doing okay, mate. He's averaging, not doing great, yeah. He's done all right the last few weeks, 77, 47, 53. But yeah, back to the bench now. Have you got the ownership there?
I'm still scrolling.
He might not be in Supercoach.
I'm still scrolling, but I did, for what it's worth, I started about 7 or 8%, so maybe he's a little bit high up.
Do you
there.
not type his name in?
Well,
You're a sick puppy, Williams. You're a fucking sick puppy. You just like to make life hard for yourself. What have we got?
I haven't found him yet.
Oh, Christ. Don't worry about it. All right, Friday, 8 p.m. Is there anything you want to touch on in that game?
Yeah, there is.
What?
Latu Finu.
Okay. What are we thinking?
When I went earlier on kick out last week, like very much acknowledging things change very quickly, but I was sort of thinking I wanted to go Dill Brown to Latu Finu at 289k, negative 11 break even, starting in the halves for them. I just think he's a good pickup. Has Manly this week, which is fine. Plays the depleted Roosters next week, which is a good matchup with all their players out. I just think he could either act as a really solid and playable backup 5'8", or more realistically, probably just be the ticket back to Cameron Munster, who's dropping in price sort of post-Origin. Like they have the Titans in round 20, sort of play him for that, then him to Munster. I like the Latu play to free up cash, but with everything that's happened over the last week, I've got more pressing issues. But I think he's a good trade.
Sorry, I can't let this go. How many people do you reckon have Alex Seyfarth in the top 10%?
Like
It's disgracefully low. I feel so dumb.
like 100.
21.
Yeah.
It's fucking outrageous. What a shit call.
I got down to 0.3% ownership and I still hadn't found him.
Grim. Latu, I don't mind the play. I'm stuck with King Tongia. I just think it's a little bit sideways going to him, so I'm going down with the King Tongia ship at the moment.
You should buy Seyfarth as a pod. Super pod.
Coming off the pine.
Be 22 owners.
I'm sure it'll be down this weekend.
Players that are at the same ownership among the top 1% as Alex Seyfarth. Solomono Sakura,
Goodbye.
Jacob Halengahu, Michael Gabriel, Hazen Mellors, Jack Underhill, Ryan Gray. Get on, Roo.
Yeah, some good footballers there. Yeah, no, I'll wear that one.
Dylan Edwards, hello.
Is he that low, is he?
19 owners.
Huge.
Dylan Edwards.
Yeah.
God.
Shout out to him. Didn't know Dylan Edwards had 19 teams. I like the idea of Latu, mate. I'm hoping to get him off the waiver wire tonight with a bit of luck. But, I think I'm just going to run with King Tonga. I don't think I have enough trades to fuck around with shit like that.
It's somewhat of a luxury trade. Like, obviously, you're not moving Jaden Campbell to him. You're not moving Cam Munster to him. But, like I said, if you've dodged a bit of carnage and you're a Dill Brown owner, I am a Dill Brown owner with such little confidence in him after the whole season, but even particularly the last few weeks. Like, I think Dill Brown him to free up cash, and I think you probably want to finish the year with Jaden Campbell and Cam Munster. I don't think Munster's going to be a must on the way home, but I think that's a play. So, yeah, I like the Latu Findu play.
I think Latu playing halfback, I love him as a footballer, you know. I don't think Supercoach-wise he'll be as good as what
Just run
people are
less.
expecting. Yep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Do you reckon? You don't reckon? I mean, he's wearing the 7. You don't think Luai steers the shit though?
I think Latu will play more of like what Kato was doing. I think he'll just play straight and direct, and Luai play at the back. But we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I don't think he'll be quite as good as what people are thinking from a Supercoach point of view. But we'll see.
Ken Jag an injury as well.
Yes, no stranger to an injury. Okay, now we're done with Seyfarth. Friday, 8 p.m, Knights, Raiders up there at Newcastle. Hastings in the 6, Cogger in the 7. Jacob Saifidi returns. They've got a 4-forward bench up there. Worth noting that Marty and Gamble are on the extended. For the Durs, 1-17 there. Hudson Young has been rested. Shout out to Hudson. Didn't realise when I did my live reaction team list Tuesday this afternoon that he wasn't in there.
Rested, or was it that osteopubis injury?
I was told rested, but I haven't looked any further into that.
I also have not. Well, yeah, NRL.com says Young's been managing ongoing groin injury, and the club have chosen to manage his workload during what has been a demanding period with club and Origin commitments. Why not do it last week on the 2-day backup from Perth Origin?
Yep.
I blew up about it on Bloke. I blew up it on SC Playbook.
I think they heard you.
Bloody blow up out on this as well.
Well,
and I don't mean just him. I mean Harry Grant. I mean Cam Munster. I mean freaking everyone. Like, why? Why, Roo?
Well, mate, imagine poor Jet Cleary, how lonely he was in New Zealand last week without his family. I tried to tell you, no one thinks about poor old Jet.
Yeah, you thought of Jet.
Just leave him for dead.
Yeah,
I was going to invite him over for dinner.
Apparently, it's been an ongoing growing issue, and they played him last week. We're sitting second. Like, why? Anyway, moving on.
Wild.
What's bought Hudson Young last week?
Yeah, no, it's good. I like it. Anything else to touch on there, mate?
No.
All right, Saturday, 3 p.m, Bronx, Waz, Suncorp Stadium, Broncos. They're essentially 1-17 from last week for the Waz. Ed Cossey on the sting, Berry in the centres with Pompey. Metcalf has been named. Laban retains his spot on the edge, and Lecker goes back to the bench. An interesting one there.
What an embarrassment of riches they have in these powerful young back rowers. Just like, it's a shame for Supercoach that there's 3 of them and not 1, because you can't buy any because they just keep chopping and changing because they can, but every one of them would probably be starting at any other club, and you'd lock them in and they'd make $400K. But anyway.
Mate, Laban's done well to get there. He didn't get a ticket to Vegas.
Yeah.
They didn't even take him.
Yeah.
Wild. Metcalf has been named. Tanner Boyd's on the extended there. I echo your thoughts with Hudson Young. I think Metcalf's too important this side that even if he's close to 100%, just give him a week.
You've got great coverage.
You're going to fly to Brisbane? Like, what are we doing?
Just have it off.
Yeah. I agree. Saturday, 5:30, Dragons v Eels at Wynn Stadium, the Lomax/Gutho Cup. Corey Allen and Tui Pelotu on the wing. Sua returns on the edge. Leilua and Fafita on the bench for the Dragons. For the Eels, Dill Brown, he returns at 5'8". Samrani jumps into the centres for Will Pensini. Lussick at 9. No Riley Smith and Josh Papali in jersey 17. Anything you want to touch on in that game, Timbo?
I mean, there's a little bit going on, but nothing overly exciting, is there?
Nothing huge, right?
Only the droppings at the Drags. So
Yeah.
Nathan Lawson, that's the main one.
Yeah, glad I went 3 weeks early on that, dude. I signed him before the Dragons did. That one's come back to fucking bite me on the ass. Yeah.
Joy to see.
Yeah, and looks like Sloan's been given permission to leave, so we might get a Lawson. Do they play 18?
Yes, that's why it's significant. If they didn't, it'd be like, okay, whatever, we've got enough. I don't have him, thankfully, but
Val Holmes, yeah.
So Val drops out, so it'll be him. Well, they could be that Sugranus as well, to be fair, especially at centre. Anyway.
Shout out to Lawson. He's played 2 games with a break-even of 34, and I'm not confident he's going to get 34 in his next game. So it's been a good investment by me. Saturday, 7:50, Dolphins, Bunnies up there at Suncorp. For the Finns, Tupu on the wing, Molo and Nichols start in the front row. Felice Kafusi injured there. For the Rabbitohs, some big ins. Campbell Graham returns at centre. Cody Walker at 5'8", Kepi at prop, Arrow at 13, Mamazelis in the 14. I don't know if this is the week, Timbo, but I feel like over the next 2 weeks, South Sydney might become a little bit appealing.
Yeah, I agree. They just getting players back.
Yep.
And they're starting 17 when they're anything close to it is lethal. So I think you're right. And obviously they play round 18. They do have the bye round 19. They come out of the bye against Penrith, Cronulla, Broncos, so not too bad. Finish the season good. Titans, Eels, Dragons, bye Roosters. So I think I can see myself going Drinky to Latrell around 20.
Have you seen Cody Walker's price?
Yeah, was he like 300k?
308k. That is insane.
Yeah. Just need to see him get through 80 minutes of football.
Yeah.
Several times. But yeah. Imagine if the Bunnies fire and Cody stays on the field and he's 300k.
Wild. Okay, let's move to Sunday, 2 p.m. Storm, Sharks, Amy Park for the Melbourne Storm. Howarth out. Now, I sort of thought there was a chance Howarth was dropped here, but it looks like apparently he's got an illness, I believe NRL Physio has said.
Illness? They don't play for 6 days.
Yep. Illness, apparently, according to Fizz. So read into that what you will. Coates on the wing, Grant Anderson at centre. The Sharkies, they're essentially 1-17. I think Oregon Kofusi's back in the front row. And Wilton, he went to hospital last week. He is on the edge as well. Anything for that game, mate?
No.
Sunday, 4:05 p.m, Titans v Cowboys, the game of games. Titans, Weaver at 7, Tino in jersey 13. No other changes for the Titans. For the Cows, Jake Clifford back into halfback. Purdue in at centre. Labart remains at centre. Robson at 9, Cotter at 13. And Braden Burns, the poor bastard, dropped again. I thought he was fantastic last week.
Our man Braden can't take a trick, can he?
No, he's,
very underloved football. I think he's got a lot more to offer. Just give the man a start when he's fit.
Yeah.
I do. Todd Payton, big fan of the Bloke in a Bar podcast, made the move. Clifford in, Purdue to 3. I think Purdue's going to make an excellent half in time. I just think this year he's still very young. He was scintillating at centre, a bit of pressure off. You got experience in Clifford there, a long kicking game. Just that balance feels a lot better to me.
Yeah, very fair. I agree with you. I think they will make a return to the Purdue in the spine at some point.
Probably next year, to be honest. But just like give him a full preseason there and yeah.
Yeah, fair shout. Roosters, they have got the bye this week. Now, Blue Wealth Property, they have got a webinar. It is Tuesday, the 8th of July. That's at 7 p.m, the webinar, Unlocking Equity to Invest in Property. If you own or are paying off a home that you've had since before 2020, you will have a decent amount of equity in your home. But what is equity and how can you use it to grow your wealth? Tune in to find out all about how you can use equity to invest in property. Having great equity and not using it to invest is like having your bar fridge stacked to the gills, but never cracking a can. That's good gear. I like that. That speaks to me, the common man.
That's one. Who do you reckon come out with that, Tony?
I was going to say Morts. You reckon it's Tony?
Yeah.
If it was Tony, he would have said, "What if your cellar's not full of wine?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
true.
it's stuck to the gills. I think that's
Yeah,
more.
it's very
actually
more.
could be more. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Speaking of, one of my favourite Blue Wealth property facts around equity
Yeah.
is off the dome. I've said it before, but it's that good because I asked the question. 80% of current homeowners could buy another property right now through the equity they've got in their current home.
Jesus. 80%.
Yeah.
Wow.
A few years ago, I asked that. Numbers could have been blurred, but I'm 93% sure that 80%
Mate.
is correct.
That is 79.9% higher than Alex Seafarth holders. That is wild. That is a big number.
You're
Kat.
saying more than 21 people can do it?
Heaps can do it.
Yeah. Crazy stat.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's very
If true.
impressive. I'm going to assume it's true.
I'm
You haven't
pretty
got many wrong in your time.
No, I'm pretty sure it's spot on.
It
think
makes
it's fine.
sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It adds up.
It does add up.
It does add
Yeah.
up.
How many of your properties did you buy through equity?
None. I don't have any, my friend. I don't know why you do this to me. I think it's incredibly rude and I don't appreciate it. If I had equity, though, I'll tell you what, I'd be making my way to the webinar on Tuesday, the 8th of July, 7 p.m. Guys, there's a link is in the description. We sold, I think, 2 properties last week via Beers and Breakevens, mate. People are moving. We're making dreams come true over here.
We are.
Yeah, it's unreal. So keep an eye on your emails.
What can't we do?
What can't we do?
Aside from finish top 1,000
Get
this year.
people to buy Alex Seafarth.
Yeah, well, I reckon I could just squall. All right, the winner this week of the Beers and Breakevens comp goes to Hunchback. That's Aiden, the coach. 1,540. Great knock, brother. He went up 6,000 spots to now be ranked 9,693. Send an email, beersandbreakevens@gmail.com. Put your name, put your address, a screenshot of your score. All the good things for us, legend, and we will get you sorted out. Now, our main topic. Do you want to do the topic now or your stats deep dive? I forget which order we do this in. Topic?
Whatever you're feeling, mate.
Okay, I'm feeling it. We'll do the topic. So, what I've done, I've written down a very brief sort of plan of the trades that I want to make over the next couple of weeks, and I wanted to run Tim's expert eye over it. I know what you're thinking. He hasn't won a trophy. I get it, guys. But he knows what he's talking about. He's good at what he does. He might be the Robin on this show, but he's good at what he does. So I want to run... I just want to run my team through with Timmy and talk about my options. I'm going to go position by position, talk about what my team looks like right now, but where I want it to be in the future. So at the moment at hooker, now I have got 15 trades left before this week. I'm planning to trade in Kiraz and Karapani. So it means I've got 13 trades left after that. At hooker, I've got Tom Starling and Riley Smith. Now, Riley Smith is obviously a bit of a tyre fire at the moment, but I've got Tom Starling. He'll get me through the next few weeks. So my plan at the end of this origin period is just to trade to one gun hooker. I don't think I want 2. I want one of them, either Starling or Riley Smith, to Harry Grant or Connor Watson. Probably one of those 2. Timbo, thoughts?
Yeah, bang. And we, being such a tough week for number 9s in SuperCoach, we did a big deep dive on Playbook around that position and how to play it. But I think you're right, mate. You basically get through those who are blessed with a playing hooker this week.
Yep.
You see it through to round 18, round 19, and then from round 19 onwards, I just think they're the biggest standouts in the position, Connor Watson and Harry Grant. So you look to run one of them 2, and then your backup hooker... Wouldn't say it becomes dead weight, but if you've got someone there who's ticking over, even if it's like as high as 40 to 45, just for coverage when needed. If you go Harry Grant, he plays every game for the rest of the season, obviously barring rest or injuries.
So does Connor Watson.
Yeah, so it's Connor Watson. So you just, if you have to play him for 1 week for coverage, so be it. But I think that's the way you play that. I don't think you need both either.
Yeah, sweet. I'll be trading to one of them. Depending on which one it'll be, Riley Smith or Tom Starling, depending on the situation. Front row forwards, as it stands right now, mate, I have got Terrell May, I've got Adam Fanua-Blake, and I've got Tino there, and then I've got Tui Simpkins there as well. I've actually sold Corey Horsburgh potentially selling Corey Horsburgh this week. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Mate, I think the only front row forward that I want is Payne Haas. I think I need to get to him. outside of that, I am happy to run with those guys. Let me ask you, is Tino a must-have guy for the rest of the year?
Oh, no. Like, there's every chance he could turn to Payne Hash for people like post-origin for those that sold, and there was a fair few. I think the way you play the front row forward position is you could have 4 guns there because the position is so good this year, but we're also going to get to the back end of the season where I think, you're going to have your 3-gun fullbacks that are top dollar. I think you want to stack CT Dub for some of the best matchups and have that ability to sit v start just the CT Dubs based on their matchup each week. I don't think you need 4 gun front rowers. I think you have 3, and then I think most people out there own one of like Royce Hunt or Tui Simpkins or whoever the spud front rower is. Pacifica Tonga as well. He's at 18th man this week. So I think 3 is fine. And ideally, I just think you want to have, for a bit of coverage, that interchangeability of, look, it doesn't have to be Tino necessarily. We'll see how he deals with this ongoing sternum injury, but his dual position. And then you've got Keon Klamatangi, who next week will get his dual to our front row forward. I think having the ability to have one of those guys at front row and one at second row will just be very handy in the back end.
If you had to sell one of May, AFB, Tino to get Haas, which one would you go for? I'm probably leaning towards Tino at the
right
moment.
now, Tino.
Yeah.
But like he could come out this week, play 65 and be fine. And I go, all right, it's AFB. He played limited minutes last week, backing up from Origin. He was so as a result, I just want to see Tino this weekend, see what he looks like. Because the news of that sternum injury came out before the weekend, and then he played limited minutes. But again, that was backing up. So I just want to see what happens this weekend. But right now, if it had to be done, probably Tino. But in a week's time, if Tino's good, I want him over AFB.
Yeah, AFB is interesting now because I don't think the Sharks can afford to rest him or anything for the rest of the
it's
season.
very handy.
They're going to need him. So, interesting conversation. So, I'll be bringing Payne Haas in there. So, that's 2 trades I have to make. A hooker, bring in one of those big guns and get Payne Haas in. In my 2RF at the moment, I've got Keon, Dill Lucas, Eli Katoa. Then I've got Ewan Aitken up there at the moment this week as well. I've moved him up there. I've got Zach Hosking in there still that I'll keep for round 18 and move him on to someone. And then I've got Vaimalga as well, who's making a bit of bicky. He's a bicky monster cat. He's been caught with his hand in the cookie jar on many occasions recently. So I'm enjoying him because that's been a long wait since Las Vegas. But 400K, -1 break even. Thanks for coming.
Mate, you're talking to a Charlie Geimer, and I get you. He's bagged a bit of meat on the week, and he's on the up as well, Charlie.
How good. You love to see it. Zach Hosking, he's probably going to be the guy, mate. I will move him after 18. I'm sort of thinking maybe Gussie Crichton.
Agreed. And he's going to be cheap as well.
Yeah.
I think the 2RF position, ideally speaking, like there's some good players coming out of Origin there. Like you could add in someone like Isaiah Yeo, who's going to have no owners. You can add in Hudson Young as well, post-Origin, who he's averaging over 80 as well, provided he's fit and good to go. Yeah. So I think you've got 6 positions there. I think you want 5 guns. You could get away with 4. I don't think you need 6. We're all probably going to have a bit of a Charlie Geimer about us or someone like that that's plodding along a little bit, not doing much. So I think if you don't have 5 gun 2RFs to sort of chop and change as you please, I think that's the play.
Ewan Aitken. Do I finish the season with him or do you think I need to move him on at some point?
I think he'll be a move on.
Yeah. Okay.
The only way I think he'd be maybe a hold for you is that because you've got Dill Lucas, it's just like if you're running low on trades, if you had one of them down at CT down one at 2RF, again, just that, it's a bit of insurance for both positions.
Yeah.
Just when you look at Ewan Aitken, he's done a solid job for you. Like he's scoring 55, 60 odd with no attack. It's all in base. Cannot buy an attacking stat, but he'll get you through round 18 next week or go into plan. Do a bit of a job, but when you speak about blokes like Kiraz and Lomax and Val Holmes and these high upside CT dubs, you add in Eli Katoa, Keon Klamatangi, Hudson Young, Angus Crichton. They're all players who probably average 15 more than him on their own home.
Yeah.
He won't give you any grief, and if you, for whatever reason, you have to hold him, you'll be fine, but there are better players in the position.
Yeah, I just think it'll be interesting that I've got Aitken, Hosking and Vaimalga. I think we'd all agree they're 3 guys I need to trade. I'm just not sure which 3 guys. Angus is one. I'm not sure who the other guys are that I really desperately want in the 2RF, realistically.
Hudson?
Yeah, sure, but I don't know. I know he's having a killer season, scoring a lot of tries. I feel like as soon as I get on him, he'll stop scoring tries. That's my vibe on the situation. Hudson, sure, I could have a look at him, but I'm not completely sold on him. Angus is really the only one that I'm like, I think I really need to have him. Like I've seen you've gone Kikau last week.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, yeah. Not sure. But I don't feel like Kikau's a must-have guy for me.
I brought Kikau. I think I'll keep him to the end, but I'm open to the idea of selling him to like Crichton post. Like he's going to provide really good coverage for me the next few weeks. He's got high upside. He's in a good team. He's got a good draw. So he's a bit of a flyer I've taken that he could come out and go 50-50. He could, and I can flip him to Crichton after, but the plan is to keep him long term. But yeah, he's a long way from a must-have.
Okay, so do we have Aaron Clark sitting above him?
Kikau?
Yep.
It's hard because Supercoach-wise, they're so different.
Yep. So
Clark is just base, bit of power. Kikau's got like the try scoring, try assisting, high upside.
Aaron Clark's averaging 71.
Yeah, Kikau's about the same.
Fucking wild.
Yeah,
I bought Aaron Clark last week.
Yeah, nice.
From the clouds. Why? I mean, great move. Where did that come from? You just kept that under your hat on the Sunshine Coast.
To be honest, I didn't even know. When we were in the Sunshine Coast, I hadn't made the decision yet. I used every minute of last week to make my trade decisions. To be honest, I just went with my gut.
Yeah, I'll back that.
It was just one of those ones where his name had come up a couple of times. I'd done a bit of a Timmy and scrolled through SuperCoach numbers, and he just stood out as a good buy, and I felt good about it, and I don't regret it. Okay? No, just kidding.
Mate, he's gone 103, 71, 65, 72, 78, 83.
He got 83 last week.
He's killing it. So there were 2 lower minute games where he still scored fantastic. And then last week there was couple of early injuries, so minutes may have been inflated a little bit. But look, he's a keeper. On those 2, Aaron Clark will probably average 70 on the dot on the run home. Kikau could average anywhere from 50 to 90. You don't know.
Yeah.
So Clark's way safer. Kikau has the upside. Not to say Clark doesn't, because if he scores or assists, he can go 90 to 100.
Yeah.
I do think Kikau has a few biggies in him, though.
Interesting. Okay, that's my 2RF as it stands right now. Halfback, I've got Nico Hines and I've got DCE at the moment. So I'm saving up a little bit of Bicky to go DCE to Cles in a few weeks' time. But I think I'm happy to run with Hines and him. Jerome Hughes is probably the one I'm missing out on there, but you can only have 2 of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Hines and Cleary, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you took a bit of a punt. 2 great games at Brookie for Ches coming up.
Yeah.
I'd prefer B a Jerome owner, but he was only 45-50 odd last week, and I said Ches has got the 2 games to come, so...
Yeah, fingers crossed there. But we're moving Ches to Cleary eventually. 5'8" makes me physically ill at the moment. I've got King Tongia in there, and I've got JC, Jaden Campbell, obviously out for 2 weeks, and then he'll return. I think JC is the guy I want to run with until the back end. King Tongia, he's got a break even of 5. He's at 329K. I would do some weird and despicable shit to see him get 100 this weekend.
Well, I was just thinking, like, I've got the man that I wish was opposite him, and that's Dill Brown. I wish Dill Brown was Dean up on him.
Mate,
but
King Tongia would put Dill Brown into hospital this week if he could get his paws on him. Know that.
He's got the Dean Hawkins edge. So, look, probably doesn't change heaps, but Dill Brown's just a damn good defender. I wish Supercoach gave more points for defence because Dill Brown would probably be scoring all right. Yeah, I mean, look, I think you just said if you don't want to move to Latu, you just grit your teeth. Next week doesn't really matter. It's top 13 anyway. You said your numbers are pretty good. So, yeah, you go King Tongia to Munster or whoever it might be, around 19, 20.
Maybe a Metcalf. Yeah.
Metcalf, yeah.
You wouldn't, if you were me, you wouldn't go King Tongia to Latu, would you? I just feel like it's too sideways for me.
Like, there's certainly a lot of sideways about it. So, King Tongia, what is he? 320. Oh, he's got a break even of 5. He's got a 3-round average of 50. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. CTWs. Now, I'm pretty happy with my CTWs as they stand. I have got Farmworth. Have you heard of him? He scores heaps of points every fucking week. Like, just about every week he scores heaps of points. You've got him in your team, right? Because he scores heaps of points every week. He didn't score a try on the weekend. He turned up in a loss.
He won't score many points around 18 or 21 because he's on the bye, dickhead. He'll find a way. You know what he'll do? He'll sign with the Storm or something and he'll score 150 on both weeks.
Averaging 84.5. How bloody good.
I just don't want to talk about him this week.
878K. Shit. Wild. Yeah. I've got him. I've got Jermaine Sarko. I've got Zach Lomax. I've got Ruben Garrick. And then this week I have traded in Kiraz and Karapani. And then I've also got Nathan Lawson stinking it up for me there. Mate, I will move Karapani to another CTW. Who that is, I don't quite know yet. I think that'll be one of my little Potterellas for the back end of the season. But everyone else, mate, Lomax, Farmworth, Osako, Garrett, Kiraz, I'm feeling good about my CTWs.
Yeah, no, I think that's fine, mate. As you said, Karapani, who knows what Karapani could get dropped next week, or he could average 85 on that left wing for the Broncos, and I don't know which one it'll be.
Yeah.
Hopefully the latter, but as I said, I think plenty will be jumping on this week anyway. So, yeah, I think that's fine for your CT dubs. I think people should be aiming to have 6 gun CT dubs for the run home and have that ability to sit start based on matchup. You know, you probably bench for you a lot of weeks anyway. If you can get to 7, depending how much bank you've built, sweet, but realistically 6 is probably the number.
Yeah.
I think you want 6 though, but when I say that, I mean by round 20 odd when Karapani peaks, hopefully still in the team, and you just go Karapani to whether it's Lomax, Val, Kiraz, whoever it might be, and stock it up there. But I think you want 6 guns at CT dub.
Well, that's the other thing with me too, because I've got so many jewels on my side. Like Karapani could eventually be my avenue to paint Haas as well. I could move Dill Lucas down to my CTW.
Yeah.
So, hopefully Karapani's as good as what I think he's going to be, because that would make life heaps fucking easier. Shout out Nathan Lawson. Fullbacks, I've got, fullbacks and flex, I got Pappy, Teddy and Drinky. Mate, I'm sure I'll make a change at some point, but I don't see it for the foreseeable future for now. I'm sort of okay with Drinky. I had a bit of a temper tantrum with over the weekend, but I think I'm probably going to stick with him for a while.
Yeah, they got pounded and he still scored 73.
Yeah.
Titans this week. He plays Melbourne next week without their origin stars. It's in Townsville. I think there's a serious case for... Well, I don't think you change anything at the moment. You certainly don't this week or next week. But yeah, I'm sort of feeling a little... If Bunny's getting players back and they stay on the field, I think a little drinky to Trell.
Trell man?
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't mind that. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I know we spoke about it on Bloke the other day, but just being live out there the other day, watching him was just so fucked up, some of the shit he did.
Yeah, freak.
Wild.
Buy in round 20, the Bunnies. Mm-hmm. So, Drinky round 19.
Round 19 by South Sydney.
What did I say?
20, round 19.
Sorry.
Not much of a muchness.
Yeah.
I just know you hold yourself to the highest possible standard, so I like to meet you there. They've also got a buy in round 26.
It's nice to occasionally have you in there.
That South Sydney draw is delicious from like 22 to 25.
Yeah.
Even the Sharkies at the moment, fuck me. Cronulla, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Eels.
For what it's
Dragons.
worth, I know we spoke about it last week, there's not many matchups that you're like, ugh, geez, like that's a bad one. That's a sit. Like maybe the Doggies, maybe Melbourne in Melbourne. Like seriously.
Yeah, no, even Melbourne, mate. I'm not.
Nah.
They don't scare me.
Especially if you're going up against the right edge.
The right edge. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I might score a double on that side. I think it's a very good point as far as matchups and everything goes.
Yeah.
So that's my side. So I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around about 7 trades that I want to make, and I've got 13 left. So
7 trades you want to make, you'd probably need 3 extra trades to fund them.
Yep.
Ballpark 10.
Well, but the beauty of me right now, at the end of this weekend, I've got 500K in my bank. So, 3 trades should get me to be able to do it. Yeah.
So 10 trades leaves you 3 up the sleeve.
Yeah. I can fuck off a Malga soon and a Karapani eventually, and then it'll take me a long way there. So,
No, like it, mate.
If you had to put a prediction on where you think I'll finish this year, rank-wise, I'm high 6,000s. I'm essentially low 7,000s. I'm as close as you can get to 7. Where do you reckon I'll finish? Like, do you think I've got a top thou in me?
Potentially, yes.
Potentially.
It's not. Sort of said in recent weeks, but just very hard to make up ground in Origin period nowadays. Like it is tougher and it's getting harder. I'd pin you at, if I was a punting man, which I am.
Not a good one, but I am one.
Yeah, well, I'm in the green on the Halfback podcast, mate. As of this week.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's
Ruben
pretty
Garrick
impressive.
last week, lock of the week, into the green. Very exciting.
So where would you rank him?
Can't turn enough of that chat. Sick of that one, okay?
Holy shit.
2,300.
I'll take that. I'd be stoked.
I probably would too.
2,300.
But no, you can still make the top 1,000. It's just, this game ebbs and flows very quickly.
So round 18 for me right now, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not counting you, Nathan Lawson. 11, 12, 13. I have 14 players that week.
Sweet. Cruising.
Yeah, so I'm doing it easy. How many have you got for that week? Pretty similar?
Yeah, pretty similar. I don't have the top of my head, but round 18.
Nathan Lawson could be playing Origin for all we know by then. My man. Okay. Now we're going to move to Timmy's Stats Deep Dive.
Currently got 15 for round 18.
How many duds are in there? Say heaps.
My 16.
Is Geimer in there?
No. Billy Smith's my worst.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's good. Watch me lose 2,000 spots. Numbers are good though, so.
All right. Our first stat deep dive is Ruben Garrick. I am playing him in SuperCoach draft this weekend, so I'd appreciate some negative stats on him moving to the Sting, which scares me.
No. So, playing outside Tommy Turbo.
Never heard of it.
This is tantalising.
Oh, my God.
What a word.
What a word.
Thank you.
What a fucking week to bring that word out. Licked his lips when he said it too, you sicko.
Last played on the wing in 2023. In that season,
He
played,
last played on the wing in 2023.
Yeah, well, he moved to centre last year.
Yeah, right.
Look, if there's one game there that I've missed, apologies, but
No,
yeah.
it makes sense.
Played 9 games that season there. There was one injury impacted game, which I haven't included, and he averaged 80.44 points on the wing. Yeah. So I just think all signs point to Ruben Garrick for a big finish, especially over the next 2 weeks with the softer draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turbo at centre. He'll be dishing him some really quality ball. Yeah, I like it.
I like that. All right. The Kensington, Ken Irvine, Alex Johnson. Talk to me.
Yeah, so
Is this going to
AJ.
be like an origin period, AJ, and the fucked up shit he does every year?
Nah, it's just
I think he's 9 tries in 5 games.
no, it's an AJ with Latrell. So last 4 scores, 137, 55 without Latrell, 53 and 102. So he's averaging 69 points per game this season, but in the 4 games where Latrell's been on deck, he's averaging 85.
Jesus.
Honestly,
Really need
like
Jack White to get in the way more and run the football.
he doesn't get in the way because he just throws the cut ball every time.
I know.
And
It's killing me. It's not killing me. I'm stoked for him, but
yeah, so look, I'm not doing it because Latrell will be out next week and then they got that round 20 bye. But as you said, if the Bunnies start to heat up with a good run home, Alex Johnson could fly.
will Alex Johnston play fullback next week? Jai Gray's injured. Jai Gray's injured. He probably will, right?
Him or Ty Munro.
Ty, yeah.
I don't think it changes that much. Like, you don't really want to be on the... Oh, well, sorry, that's the other thing. Cody Walker's back on the left edge.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
You could do heaps worse. He's 580k, a break even of 8. Then he has the 137 in his rolling average. So he's the kind of one who, if you were game enough to jump on now and he just goes bang, bang, continues to score, which Atalius Johnson he probably does, he could be very hard to get very quickly.
He's a bang bang guy of note over the last few years. Been known to bang, cat. He can score rugby league tries.
I'm not going to do it, but I'd love to. And good luck to anyone that does.
I can't wait to walk into About Even tomorrow and Sebo go, guess who I brought? And I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah,
Fuck, I wish I was on that. Loves him.
Yeah.
Adores him. All right, Billy Army kick out, your boy.
The Army kick out.
Billy Kicks.
Yes. So shout out to SC Playbook contributor Michael Fisher for this little layup.
The fish.
Yep, the fish, the great man. 621k break even of 26 and averaging 63 points for the season. Surely it's more than that. Wasn't he 70? 73. I wrote the wrong number in my article. I'll fix that. Apologies. 73 point average for the season. So big one with kicks is just this season, and especially of late, his power's gone up a lot. His tackle busts and his offloads. Last 2 games, he's had 14 tackle busts and 9 offloads. This is where Fish kicks in. His base and power was 43 last year. It's 55 this year. It's a significant jump up. So we know with kicks, there's lower 40s and 50s, but I am loving everything I see with him. He's the focal point of their attack on that left edge. They're using him in that sweeping out the back play for try assists. I jumped on him. I'm excited. I haven't sat there and gone, he's 100% a season keeper, but the amount of times I've watched him this year and gone, he's been an inch from a try or an inch from another try assist.
Yep.
I think there's upside there.
Mate, I opened up his stats and the first thing I saw was scores of 36 and 49 and thought, he's the same dude he always has been. But, mate, they are just surrounded by huge numbers, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you're right. Last week, I think it was against South Sydney. I think he got held up twice over the line.
Yeah. The
He
49.
based 50 in that game.
Yeah. The 49 was the first game back from a 4-week injury layoff. Had the 36. And like his base is a lot lower than 80-minute back rowers. That's his Achilles heel. But if he gets a 45, I'm confident he can back it up with an 85.
I cannot believe his lowest score of the year was against the Titans. That might be the most shocking stat of the year. I like it. Won't be for me, I don't think. I think it might be the one that got away from me, but I'm stubborn like that.
Yeah. Look, the thing is with kick out, he could dead set go 40, 40, 40, and he's boom, gone by around 19, 20. Like, it wouldn't shock me one bit, but it's a calculated gamble I'm willing to take with a lot of upside.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Purdue, moving back to the centres. Talk to me.
Yeah, just a little bit of a sneaky one for the run home. Like, I know Purdue owners, there's a lot selling this week, and they've had enough, but he moves back to centre, and I like that for him. He can just focus on running, doesn't have to do too much ball playing or any of that. Plays the Titans this week, fantastic matchup. Melbourne next week with Origin players out. The run home's pretty decent. No more buys until round 27. So I know I'm absolutely nitpicking the stats that I want here, but take out the first 2 games of the season. I think they were he played a few games last year in limited time, but take out the first 2 games of the year. Cobwebs, early season defences are good. He then went on and in his next 7 games at centre to average 74.6.
Yep.
So, look, you probably wouldn't jump on, but it's more one for owners out there that are looking to sell. I think you hold tight through the next 2 weeks at least.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, obviously the 2 tough matchups, but fuck.
Tough.
Well, if he's playing, what? He's got Melbourne and
Titans and Melbourne.
Oh, sorry, Titans this week. Then Melbourne.
Melbourne without Origin players.
And he'll be on. Will he be? Is he left centre? Or will he be right centre?
He plays left normally, so he'll be going at the shit storm edge.
So Labour's been playing left centre. You think they'll move Purdue to the left? And
Well, that's what you said to me pre-show.
What did I say?
You said you think Purdue will go left, and didn't you?
Oh, only because I didn't say that. No. Labour's been playing left centre. Braden Burns was right.
Well, look, regardless, Cam Munson's not going to be there, so the edge changes straight away.
Yeah, okay.
So, I just think hold through the next 2 weeks, and if he stinks it up, sell him for round 19 for that Bulldogs clash. Sure, worst case, he'll drop a bit of coin, but cop it on the chin because he could score really well the next 2 weeks.
Yep, fair shout. Scotty Drink Bloke, talk to me. Cowboys, I'm losing a little bit of faith in Drinky, but I just don't know. I think Latrell's a good shout in a few weeks, but at the moment I just don't think there's someone better.
Yeah. I think everyone's losing a little bit of faith in him, but I said the matchups to come are really good, and lows of 33 and 14 in his past 5 games. He put 132 on the Titans earlier this season. Last year in 2 games against them, scores of 144 and 59.
Mad. Mad. Heaps into that.
Yeah. Good going.
Yeah, no, it is good going. Titans, yeah, okay.
Serious captaincy shout. We'll get to it shortly, but serious captaincy.
I don't know if I have the balls to do it. I really don't.
We've switched this year. Your safety, Sam.
I wouldn't say I'm safety Sam, but I've been hurt by drinking on a few occasions. Did we get on the was I on the 14 captain against
think we
Manly?
both were.
We both were?
Yeah.
That was fucking
We definitely were.
etch as shit. Downgraded to 14. That was wild. All right. The one and only NRL Physio joins us again. Are we doing this later than we usually do?
Heaps later.
Heaps later. Yeah, he usually gets it. He's been bumped. Unlucky kid. NRL Physio, we'll throw to him now. Give me some Keanu Keeney something, boy.
Alrighty, gents, SuperCoach relevant injuries for this week. Nathan Cleary with his groin issue. I think a lot of people are wondering if he's going to miss time, as we kind of spoke about. I think last week, it's rarely something, minor groin issues, that causes players to miss time. Often referred to as day-to-day injuries, so can improve pretty significantly day on day. The main question is around goal kicking. So I would usually say for goal kickers, and we've seen it happen twice so far this year with Nicho Hynes and Jamal Fogarty. They both had minor groin issues. Fogarty's was bad enough that he needed to miss a week, but obviously with Cleary that's not the case. But both of those guys, it took them 4 weeks from when they suffered the groin injury to when they took the goal kicking back. So that was both Hynes and Fogarty. So look, Cleary's doesn't sound like even probably as significant as those guys. He seemed to get more confident with it in that second half of Origin. So, like, I'd be surprised if it needs to be 4 weeks till he goal kicks, but I'm still leaning towards this weekend potentially that he won't have that kicking tee. They've got Dylan Edwards there who can kick pretty well, but yeah, I certainly don't think it's going to be that 4 weeks for him. Lots of questions about Tino. Is he a sell at this point? Look, he's dealing with that sternum injury. I think it was probably a sell a couple of weeks ago, but I'm still not against jumping off him at this point. Like, I think this week is probably going to be his best score of the last 6 weeks. But then he's missing from Origin. He's got to back up from Origin. I just think there's a lot of options, whether it be in the CTW or the second row or even the front row, who you can go to, who might give you 3 really good weeks in the next 3 weeks. And so many people own Tino. So I think it's still a good pod play to move off him, with the fact that even if he scores well this week, he's missing next week, and then he's probably going to be on reduced minutes coming back. So it probably depends on your trade numbers as well. Hudson Young, he's rested this week. Look, I thought last week was wild how many players backed up from Origin. That was just crazy to me, especially guys like Hudson Young, who is dealing with this osteitis pubis that we didn't even know about. And I'm a bit filthy about that, because that's something we could have given insight into. I know a few people jumped on Hudson Young as a pod play last week. It would have been a no-go if we had known about that. I didn't find out about it until he was interviewed post-game after coming off early. So he's going to be rested this week. But osteitis pubis isn't something, it's painful, super, super painful, but just something that guys usually play through. So I think with the Raiders in the position that they are, and he played, obviously backed up last week, which I still don't understand why. But yeah, I wouldn't be hesitant in buying him from kind of round 20 onwards. I probably want to eyeball him coming back off Origin, so I wouldn't buy him kind of backing up off Origin, but I want to see a game from him and then jump on with relatively minimal concerns. Fletcher Sharp, he's just a trade. Really, really significant medical issues there with the kidney and the spleen and all that kind of stuff, so he will more than likely miss at least a month, but potentially 6, 8, 10 weeks depending on. With these medical issues, it can be really varied. So I think you just jump off there. Siwa Wong, similar sort of thing, 4 to 6 weeks. That's pretty standard for those medial issues. So I'm jumping off him this week. Sandon Smith, just bone bruising in the knee, so nothing too major. I have him at my hooking position. I'm counting on him for next week, and I think he will be there as long as the Roosters aren't selling us. something that's not actually happening. And seeing a lot of interest around Latu Fainu. I totally get it, and I still think he's a good buy from like a performance and price and SuperCoach perspective. It's just worth remembering that he does have that significant history of hamstring injuries over the last 2 years. So he's had several. He's missed just so many weeks and re-injured multiple times with that hamstring. So I'm someone who's got LKT, and it's just not a move that I would make from LKT to Fainu purely around that injury risk. Like, I think Fainu has more upside, absolutely, but I just don't know if that's worth a trade for me at this point in time. I think if you're coming down from a gun to free up a whole bunch of cash, that's fine, and you're happy if, Fainu suffers an injury, you can just leave him as your reserve 5'8". But yeah, just worth remembering, if you're counting on him, he does have that significant injury history, and he hasn't played 80 minutes regularly in a long time, and now he's going to be relied on to do that. So just worth mentioning. All right, guys, if you like information like this, Magic Sponge Podcast is out every Sunday night, Monday morning. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, Tino's the interesting one there. I'm reluctant to sell just because of the dual positioning. And I think we made a good point on SC Playbook, the Spy did, about squads are getting pretty deep. Coming out of Origin, we don't need to play him. If we need to rest him a couple of weeks to hopefully sort of, get back to health and get back to bigger minutes. I just want to see him this week and see what happens minutes-wise and what his output looks like. But I'm going to hold, but it's interesting to hear Fizz say that it's not too late to sell if you were concerned.
Yep. I'm still... I don't know what I'm going to do with Tino this year. I'm the same as you, man. I'm going to wait and see and then make a call later. I don't fucking know.
He's also at 624K. Yes, he could drop more, but I don't see him getting much lower than 550 unless he really was to play reduced minutes going forward. But we've lost a lot of the value that he had, so...
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's rip into some trades this week. For me, I am thinking I'm going to go Billy Smith to Kiraz. I think I just need to have Kiraz. It was actually owned by a lot more of you than I expected. I think it was at 70% or something. So I had to get Kiraz in, which I'm happy to do. I think he's a season-long keeper. And then I decided I want to get Karapani. Now, I had two decisions to make, Timbo. Two avenues to go down, you might say. I was at a fork in the road, Cat, and I had to decide which one I was going down. And the first one was bite the bullet and admit that you fucked up on Lawson, which I'm not going down at the moment, but I am admitting I fucked up on Lawson. But I am willing to admit I did fuck up on Lawson, but I'm not going to fix that problem. Instead, I'm actually thinking via Jules, I might go Big Red to Karapani. Now, that frees me up a lot of cash. I think Karapani is going to be my little line in the sand as far as you're the last cheapie I buy this year. I'm happy with my cash after that. Leaves me with 500K in the bank. Horsburgh plays round 18, which would be a lovely number, but I think I've got enough to be okay. Horsburgh also, he's not setting the world alight. He's doing well, 50s, 60s, solid, but I would rather spend that cash on, a Nathan Cleary in 3 weeks' time or on a gun hooker or someone like that in Horsburgh, get the points and the money out of Karapani. So I'm thinking I'd probably just hold Lawson as as enough sort of thing this year, unless he gets brought back into the side, in which I'll put my fist through my computer.
Especially on the right wing.
Mm-hmm, correct. I'm leaning towards going Horsburgh for Karapani. What are your thoughts on that, Timber?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Purely from your perspective, because you got good numbers for next week already.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I'd say, no, just hold. It'll be fine and it'll be a great number next week, then make a move. But look, he's missing round 19 on a bye, Corey Horsburgh, and round 24. He'll be rock solid and will do a job for you for the rest of the season, but there's not many weeks on the run home that you're going to play him over other players in your 17, I don't think. So while he'd be great for depth, I just don't think you're going to play him that often. So, yeah, no knock on it from me.
Question for you.
Nathan.
Could I go Tino? Or do you think I'm better off having Tino, letting Corey go? It would free me up another 100K that I could use to buy big guns elsewhere.
I think Tino scores what Big Red is scoring with his sternum injury. Whereas Tino, he's had one game where he scored, not one game, I shouldn't say that. Let me get up his scores. But
It'd be an extra 120k I'd free up to be able to go elsewhere. That's the only thing I find appealing about it.
His base was significantly down, like the 2 weeks prior to the missing for Origin. Like he had 51 in 54 minutes, 43 in base, 57 in 72 minutes, 41 in base. So it was down. I would sell Big Red.
Yeah, okay.
Put it this way. Tino could come out this week, play 65 minutes, base 70, score a try and ton, and you go, okay, shit, he's all right, and he's a keeper for the rest of the season. And then you go, what have I done? I don't know. Whereas Corey, as I said, how often are you going to play him when you're 17? You will the next, you're not this week. You don't really need him next week. He'd be handy, but you don't really need him. Then he has 2 buys in a short space of time.
In 6 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be holding Tino, mate.
Okay, cool. I think that's the play I'll go for.
Yeah.
What are you doing, big dog?
Fletcher Sharp to Jacob Kiraz.
Oh, you still got Fletcher Sharp. You trading him out this week, eh?
Yeah, because he nearly died.
Wouldn't know, it wasn't in my team. Saw it coming.
He got 52 and he played like 40 minutes.
Okay. How many you and 8 can get? Oh, more.
Did he?
Yeah, by 3. It was a close call. It was closer than it should have been.
Fletcher Sharp to Jacob Kiraz. Tommy Jenkins to Josiah Karapani. Tommy Jenkins, break even about neg 1, so owners can hold for another week if they want. I do not want to play him against the Doggies anyway. I think he scores poorly. I'm happy to concede the 30-odd K, and Karapani, look, as I said, there's a chance it's drop next week, but he just could light it up. Worst case, he's making good money this week. Best case, he's a keeper on the left wing for the Broncos. So I think he's near enough a must-have. I think he's just an absolute golden nugget handed to us this week. Where it gets interesting, Roo, I have no hookers this week. Yeah, really shits me.
It makes me so happy.
It's not very Canberra of you.
That's not
Yes,
very
Cat. Fuck yeah.
Why are you siding with him?
I love
But
that.
great call.
She's just siding with good humour there.
Yeah. It's going to be tight. Who's going to score better out of my hooking position and your 5'8" position with King Tongia?
Your no hookers might score more than King Tommy this week. Yeah. This isn't about me.
So I just need to work out, Roo, if I can boost and go Riley Smith to Harry Grant.
Is that your last boost?
Yep. Which I was planning on using the whole time for round 19. Why I'm okay with it is A, it gives me a freaking hooker this week and a gun. The plan on doing it round 18 was to get to my final team as quick as I can.
Uh-huh.
If I do it this week and I get Grant and I get Kiraz, they're 2 keepers I wanted for the run home anyway. So I'm using it prematurely, and it solves my hooking issue. My concern is, and without going down the rabbit hole again of injuries and post-origin backups and that, Harry Grant, 80 minutes in Origin, 84 minutes against the Bunnies, has already done his hammy this year. Physio saying there's carnage to come with injuries because of the Origin quick backups.
Uh-huh.
Harry worries me.
Harry worries me a lot. I think you should be patient personally. I think not having a hooker this week is not going to be the end of the world. A lot of people are going to be in that spot. And if Harry does exactly what you think he will do, which I can just see the stars aligning, you'll never forgive yourself.
I know.
And are you really going to miss that 50, 60 points?
Yeah. So what? Look, I can make the decision up until the 5th game of the round, Dragons and Eels, on that Saturday at 5:30 when I would be trading out Riley.
That'll be your 4th schooner.
Yeah. But like as it stands, because I've got like Campbell injured, I've got a fair few Roosters players. I think I've got a 20-man squad. Oh, Charlie Geimer. I was going to say my only 2 players I'm not playing are Karapani and Ramian. So I'm like, I get a pretty mad like AE anyway, but they're like Charlie Geimer.
False.
Shit.
What's Geimer's price?
255k and going north very quickly. 16 break even. Yeah, that's annoying.
Mad.
Anyway.
I don't think you should gamble on just getting a hooker this week. I don't think it's worth your while.
And then the other one in it is, and this could segue into captains, I'm thinking of the vice captaincy on Ruben Garrick. If he can go well and I'm looping, it sort of softens the blow even more as a semi-free sort of VC. So
Vice captain on Ruben Garrick. Yeah, okay. I can get around that. I can fuck with that. I am. When does my little mate from the Titans play last game? Beautiful. I am actually. When do the Dragons play? I will bench King Tonga in a heartbeat if I can. I'll tell you what I do find very appealing this week, Timmy. A little VC on Lomax. I think against the Dragons.
Yeah, I like it.
Lomax going to arrive there with a B in said bonnet.
He's been kicking for weeks.
Yeah, he hasn't missed a kick since Origin. He's flying. I can see Lomax going big, but it would mean I'd have to VC via front row forward, which could be a bit of an issue.
He'll have 25 plus runs. He could have 30 plus runs.
Yes,
If
correct.
Mitch Moses was there, I'd be terrified. Hasn't scored without Moses this year. Doesn't mean he won't score well, but if Moses was there, I'd be horrified.
So it means I would have to bench AFB, start Simpkins. Okay, so I could make it work. Yeah, I will seriously be considering that. Fucking King Tonga is in that game. Shit balls. That sucks. Yeah, I will be considering Garrick I like, but I do like the idea of going Lomax. And then captain-wise, I hate the Drinky play, but you might be right. Maybe it is the best play. Maybe I just captain Lomax. Maybe I just do it again.
Just do it.
Keon?
Nah, cowards play. I'm not captain the front row forward. That's way too smart for me. You know me. I like to live life on the edge.
Yeah.
I like to ride and die. Pappy against Melbourne, against Cronulla, that doesn't overly appeal
I
to
love
me.
it.
I think the Sharkies will get up for that one
Same.
down there. Yeah, okay. Fuck. Dolphins, Bunny's getting players back. Yeah, it'll be Lomax, Garrick, Drinky for me in some form of combination of those guys there. Is that us?
Well, I'm going to go.
I thought you already said what you were going.
No, I said I was going to VC Garrick and I can see Drinky.
Oh, good, because I said it 4 times.
That was a long segment if
I
you trying to work out
apologise
your
for
captains.
that.
Apologies to listeners.
Yeah, my bad. I'll wear that one.
Quick shout out. And you two cowards and betrayers, whatever you want to call it. The Connor Tracy train
Fuck, I'm playing him in draft this week.
The
too.
Connor Tracy
Shit.
train is back on the rails. Back-to-back scores of 75 and 68. So CT is doing business. Would I sit him this week if I could? Yeah, I probably would. Do I think he's going to score 18? Yeah, he might, but at least we got something. Oh, I got out something out of him.
No, you got something good out of him.
I don't love him against Penrith, who all of a sudden seem rejuvenated, but it is what it is. I'm playing him over Ramian and Karapani as it stands.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, is that us?
That's us.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us once again on Beers and Breakevens. Now, please do go and check out Blue Wealth Property. They've got the Unlocking Equity to Invest in Property. That one's a webinar on Tuesday, the 8th of July, 7 p.m. The link's down below. Once again, guys, education that you might not need today, but I'll tell you what, there's a tomorrow incoming where it will come in handy. So go and get yourself some education. That's Tuesday, the 8th of July, 7 p.m. And if you are interested in testing out the Lontel internet, you'll be absolutely flying. One that you will not regret. The link is down below in the description. Go test it out. You get a free week to start with. So there you go. You don't have to hand over credit card details, anything like that. At the end of your week, you can make your decision. But I'll give you the hot tip. You won't be going anywhere.
No.
You'll be going everywhere fast, actually. Everywhere. Are we done?
We're done.
Are you done, Kat?
I'm done.
Fuck it.
Kat chimed in on about 5 different occasions tonight, and it was all just with pure sass.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the real me.
Cat by name, cat by nature.
Yeah.
Meow.
Now we're done.
Thanks for coming.